right, lads and lasses. Even with the lads off on international duty, it seems there's never a quiet moment in the Tottenham universe, eh? The rumor mill's working overtime, and we've got a proper stack of Spurs news to dive into today.
Oh, tell me about it.
First off, Yang Min Hyuk might be rocking the lily white sooner than we thought.
Really?
Mid-December's the whisper.
Wow.
Then there's Cuti's injury update.
Oh, yeah, how is he?
Toe ligament, thankfully no fracture.
Thank goodness.
And to top it off, Ruud Dragison's future at the Lane is up in the air.
Oh, really?
Plus, we've got those juicy links to Hugo Larsson.
Interesting.
Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild ride.
It's funny how these stories, at first glance, they seem totally separate, but they all feed into each other, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Take Yang Min Hyuk.
Okay.
His early arrival is a direct knock-on effect of Odebert's injury.
Right.
And it could really shake things up in attack,
Yeah.
especially on that right side where Brennan Johnson's been grafting.
Exactly. Imagine Yang Min Hyuk coming in fresh off that stellar season in the K-League.
Yeah, how many goals was it?
10 goals, 5 assists.
Yeah. No, that's a good return.
The Prem's a different beast, no doubt.
No, absolutely.
But having Son to guide him
Oh, yeah.
could be massive.
Oh, absolutely. Son's influence can't be overstated.
Yeah.
He's not just a teammate, he's practically family.
Right.
Having that kind of support system, someone who understands the pressures and the culture, could make all the difference in how quickly Yang Min Hyuk finds his feet.
Right. Let's talk Cuti.
Okay.
Toe ligament, as we said, out for a week, maybe 10 days.
Okay.
Classic Cuti.
Uh-oh.
Gets crocked right before the international break.
Of course.
And Argentina still calls him up.
Every time.
You got to love the bloke's commitment.
Oh, yeah.
But it does raise a question.
What is that?
How do we hold the fort without our defensive general
Yeah.
for these next couple of matches?
That's the million-quid question.
Right.
Rúben Vinagre and Ben Davies have done all right filling in, but they don't have that same Romero-esque bite, do they?
Yeah,
Van de Ven's another option, of course,
he is.
but it does make you wonder if we need to bring in another center back come January.
Speaking of center backs,
Yes.
this whole Ruud Dragusin situation's a bit of a head scratcher.
Why that?
Juventus are lurking. Dragusin wants more minutes.
Yeah.
What's the real story here?
Well, you've got Juventus, who are desperate for a center back,
Oh yeah, why is that?
especially with Bremer out for the season.
Oh, right.
A loan deal seems like it'd suit them down to the ground.
Yeah.
But then you've got Tottenham, who, according to the whispers, aren't keen on letting Dragusin go permanently.
Interesting.
They're actually looking to bring in another center back themselves in January.
Oh, wow.
It's a proper tug of war.
Yeah.
And it raises a question. Do we prioritize experience?
Right.
Or youth development?
Yeah.
Do we bring in a seasoned pro or back the young lads we've got?
Tough call that. You want a solid back line, but you don't want to stunt the growth of promising youngsters like Dragusin.
Right.
Right time to talk about the elephant in the room. Cuti's contract situation.
Oh boy.
The rumor mill reckons he might not sign a new deal if a bigger club comes knocking.
Right.
Not a massive shock, is it?
Let's be real, Cuti's a world-class talent.
He is.
And with all due respect to our beloved Spurs,
Yeah,
we haven't exactly been lighting up the Champions League these past few seasons.
true.
If a Real Madrid or a Bayern came knocking,
Yeah,
it'd be a tough one to turn down, wouldn't it?
it's a worry for sure.
Yeah.
If Romero decides to move on, the big question is, how do we reinvest that money?
Good question.
Do we splash the cash on a direct replacement, or do we focus on lads like Vuskovic and build for the future?
That's a strategic decision with massive implications, isn't it?
It is.
Do you go for a quick fix or a long-term plan?
Yeah.
It's the kind of debate that'll have the pub buzzing for weeks.
And just to throw another log on that fire,
Oh, no, what now?
we've got this Hugo Larsson link,
No way.
another midfielder.
Seriously.
I mean, Pate Matar Sarr's been looking good.
Right.
And we might be bringing in Juan Cardoso as well.
Yeah.
Do we really need another midfielder right now? I'm starting to feel like we need a spreadsheet to keep track of it all.
Larson's a curious one. He
Yeah.
is. Box to box, decent passer, not afraid to tackle.
Right.
But you're right, the midfield's looking a bit crowded already.
It is.
Maybe this Larsson link is just a bit of paper talk.
Yeah.
Especially with the Cardoso deal looking pretty much done.
Right. And going back to Yang Min Hyuk for a second,
Yeah.
he mainly plays on the right, doesn't he?
And that's where things get really interesting.
How so?
Could his arrival mean more competition for Brennan Johnson? We haven't got a ton of natural right-siders.
Right.
So having another option there could be massive, especially if Yang Min Hyuk hits the ground running.
Blimey, what a thought. All right, folks, we've covered a lot of ground already, and we're just getting started. What's got you lot thinking? Hit us with your burning questions, and we'll tackle them head on after the break.
Sounds good.
All right, see you in a bit.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back, folks. Just before the break, we were dissecting Yang Min Hyuk's potential arrival and how it could reshape our attack, especially that right flank.
Yeah, it could be a real game changer.
Exactly.
It's almost like a mid-season signing.
Yeah.
Except we already knew he was coming.
Exactly.
Postecoglou's got a real wild card on his hands.
He does.
It'll be fascinating to see how he slots Yang Min Hyuk into the squad.
Yeah.
And whether he gets any minutes before January officially rolls around.
And don't forget about the ripple effect this could have on Brennan Johnson.
Right.
Competition for places is never a bad thing.
True.
It could be the push Johnson needs to take his game to the next level.
Right.
Or even force Postecoglou to tweak his tactics.
Ooh. Tactical tweaks, music to my ears. Could we see a shift in formation? Maybe a return to the 4-3-3.
Ooh.
Or perhaps Ange has a trick up his sleeve that'll have us all scratching our heads.
Postecoglou's unpredictability is one of his greatest assets, isn't it?
It is.
He's a manager who's not afraid to experiment, to adjust on the fly, to throw a curveball now and then.
Yeah.
It keeps the opposition guessing and keeps us a lot on the edge of our seats.
Right. And speaking of keeping us on edge,
Yeah.
let's circle back to Cuti's injury.
Oh yeah, how's he doing?
Toe ligament out for a week or so.
Right.
It could have been much worse, mate.
Couldn't agree more. A fracture would have been a nightmare,
Oh, yeah.
especially with the festive fixtures coming thick and fast.
They are, aren't they?
But even a minor knock for a player like Cuti is a blow.
He's the heartbeat of that defense, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
That Argentine passion, the no-nonsense tackling.
Yeah, we love that.
We'll miss that.
We will.
But every cloud and all that, this could be Ruud Ragason's chance to shine. A
Absolutely.
real opportunity to stake his claim.
Couldn't have put it better myself. This is Dragason's moment to grab the bull by the horns, to show Postecoglou he's got the minerals to be a regular starter in that Tottenham backline.
And if he steps up, it'll make that January decision even tougher, won't it?
It really will.
Do we splash the cash on a veteran center back or stick with our young guns? It's a delicious dilemma.
It definitely adds another layer to the transfer window puzzle. But let's not get too carried away just yet. There's still plenty of football to be played before January.
Right, you are. Back to the present.
Okay?
We've got a few matches without Cody.
Right.
And there'll be a real test of our mettle. It's a chance for the lads to prove they've got the depth, the resilience to grind out results, even when missing key players.
And who knows, we might unearth a hidden gem in the process. Remember when Skippy stepped up during that injury crisis?
Yes.
Sometimes adversity reveals the hidden strengths within the squad.
Skippy.
Yeah.
What a player. Right, let's talk about this Romero contract situation.
Oh, here we go.
It's a bit unsettling, isn't it?
What's that?
The thought of our defensive rock potentially jumping ship.
It's understandable why fans are worried Romero's a world-class talent.
Oh, he is.
And players like that don't grow on trees.
He could walk into any team in Europe, no doubt about it.
I agree.
But look, we've got some cracking young defenders coming through.
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Viskovic is one to watch.
Okay.
And don't sleep on Ashley Phillips either.
No.
He's been making waves in the academy.
It's all about finding that balance in it.
Right.
We need to make sure we're addressing the short-term needs without losing sight of the long-term vision. If Romero does decide to move on reinvesting, that money wisely is absolutely crucial.
And that leads us to our final transfer tidbit.
Okay, go on.
The Hugo Larsson rumors.
Oh, really?
Another midfielder. Our midfield's already bursting at the seams, mate.
The timing does seem a bit odd, especially with the Cardoso deal looking like a done deal. Maybe it's just agents stirring the pot trying to drum up some interest.
Or maybe Postecoglou is playing 4D chess while the rest of us are stuck playing checkers. The bloke's got a knack for surprises.
Postecoglou's transfer strategy is keeping us all guessing. One thing's for certain, though, it's shaping up to be a roller coaster of a January window.
Hold on to your hats, folks. The transfer roller coaster is just picking up speed. But before we get carried away with hypothetical signings and formations, let's take a moment to appreciate what we've already got.
You're absolutely right. It's easy to get swept up in transfer rumors, but we can't forget that this current squad has done something truly remarkable, top of the table.
Top of the table. It feels so good to say those words.
It's a testament to the hard work, the dedication, the belief that Postecoglou and his coaching staff have instilled in this team. And let's not forget the players themselves who responded magnificently to Ange Ball.
The energy, the passion, the unity. You can feel it coursing through the team. It's infectious.
And it's spreading to the fans as well. The atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has been electric this season. It's a privilege to be a Spurs supporter right now.
All right, folks, welcome back for the final leg of our Tottenham deep dive. We've been through a lot. Transfer rumors, tactical puzzles, contract dramas, the whole shebang. But as any Spurs fan knows, it's never boring, is it?
Never a dull moment. We've debated the potential arrival of Yang Min Hyuk, dissected Romero's contract saga, pondered over Rudrigusen's future, and even delved into the midfield merry-go-round with those Larsson and Cardoso links.
Right, you are. Now let's get down to brass tacks. How do all these potential transfers and player shuffles fit into Postecoglou's grand plan? Let's talk tactics.
Now you're talking. Postecoglou's philosophy is pretty clear, isn't it? Attacking, possession-based football, fluid movement, high pressing. That's the Postecoglou way. But the players he's got will determine how that system actually plays out on the pitch.
Exactly. Like pieces on a chessboard, each player brings their own strengths and weaknesses. So how might Postecoglou tweak his tactics to get the best out of any new additions? Let's start with Yang Min Hyuk. Assuming he does rock up early and get some game time, where does he fit into the current setup?
Well, he's mainly been playing on the right wing for his Korean side, so it's natural to assume he'll be vying with Brendan Johnson for that spot. But Postecoglou's a manager who likes to experiment, so we might see Yang Min Hyuk pop up in different roles, maybe even as a second striker or a number 10.
Hold on, a number 10. Now that'd be a curveball.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that require a change in formation?
You're spot on. We've mainly seen Postecoglou using a 4-2-3-1 this season, haven't we? But a player like Yang Min Hyuk might prompt a shift to a 4-3-3 or even a 3-4-3.
Postecoglou's got us all guessing. That's what makes him so brilliant. He's not afraid to adapt, to evolve, to keep the opposition on their toes.
And let's not forget about John Cardoso if that deal finally goes through. He's a creative midfielder, loves to thread those passes through, and he could create a whole bunch of chances for our forwards.
He sounds like he'd complement Bazuma and Hojbjerg perfectly. But then where does that leave Skip and Sarr?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Postecoglou's got some big decisions coming up. But having too many talented players is a good headache to have, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about finding that balance, the right blend of experience, youth, and tactical flexibility.
And while we're talking about balance, we can't forget about the defense.
Right, the foundation upon which attacking brilliance is built. We've talked a lot about Romero's contract and the possibility of bringing in another center back in January. But what about the fullback positions? Are we covered there?
That's a good point. Edogi has been a revelation at left back, hasn't he? But on the right, we're a bit thin. Emerson's been decent, but not spectacular, and Porro's been a bit inconsistent.
It wouldn't hurt to bring in a top-class right back in January, would it? Someone who can bomb forward, create overlaps, and whip in those crosses. Imagine the havoc that caused.
Now you're getting me excited. And let's not forget about the man between the sticks. Vicario's looked solid so far, but can he keep it up for the whole season?
Consistency is key, isn't it? We need Vicario in his best if we're serious about challenging for the title. Speaking of which, let's address the big question. Are Tottenham genuine contenders this season?
The question on everyone's lips. It's early days, but we're top of the table playing exciting football and banging in the goals. There's a buzz around the club, a belief that this could be our year.
You can feel it, can't you? That energy, that optimism, it's spreading through the team, through the fans, for the whole bloody club.
Something special is brewing at Tottenham Hotspur, that's for sure. But let's keep our feet on the ground, eh? The Premier League is a marathon, not a sprint. There'll be bumps along the way, moments of doubt, moments of frustration.
Right, there's a long way to go, a lot of hard work ahead. But if we can stay focused, keep improving, and never lose sight of our goals, who knows what we can achieve? Maybe, just maybe, this could be the season where we finally end that trophy drought.
It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it?
It certainly is. Well, folks, that's it for our Tottenham Deep Dive. We've analyzed, debated, and dissected every angle.
It's been a pleasure sharing our thoughts and insights with you.
And to all you loyal Spurs fans out there, thanks for joining us on this roller coaster ride. Go on, you Spurs.